Hello, and welcome to the very first voiceover for my YouTube video. I just got this new microphone, so I wanted to give it a go and see how well it works. And anyways, so if this seems slightly awkward and weird, well, that's just because I'm not used to really talking over my videos. So, anyways, this is a drawing that it's a postcard sketch that I'm making for my Patreon subscribers. Every month I try to I make 10 a month, but in order to keep myself from getting too far behind, I try to at least sketch an idea, at least one a day. I may not ink the drawing that day, but at least I get the ideas out. And I mean, that's usually the hardest part, is figuring out what to draw and to try to make it look so it's not too repetitive or mundane. So yeah, it can be a challenge sometimes. You just really don't want to draw the same thing over and over and over again, especially when you have to try to make 10 fresh sketches every month. So anyways, here is the process. Usually I just start off with a rough sketch and then go into it with more detail and fine lines with a brush pen. The brush pen that I'm using is a Pentel brush pen, and I like them. They're really nice to use. I'm kind of I enjoy painting more than anything, so using a brush for me just comes more natural. So that's why I use the brush pens. It takes a little bit of time to get used to at first. I mean, before I even start, I'll just paint lines and swirls and circles just to get warmed up. Because even if I, work with a brush pen or with a brush every single day, still you have to warm up a little bit, and that's kind of what I'm doing there. Is I'll take a break and kind of use the brush on a scrap piece of paper just to make sure that the ink's flowing correctly. Sometimes with these brush pens, the ink dries out a little bit, so you have to squeeze the pen in order to make it to fill up with ink, so the hairs fill up with ink. So they're fun to work with. Being here in Japan, there's you can go to any stationery store or an art supply store, and they have just this huge variety of different types of brush pens. They're really nice. When I was back in America, I could still get them. I think some art stores had them, like Dick Blick and other places. So they're pretty. You can find them. But I think that since Japanese culture, they just have such a long history of working with calligraphy. So that's kind of why I think there's so many, a huge variety of different brush pens out there, and lots of options for calligraphy too. So the postcards are pretty small. They're just postcard size. It's on a hot press, which is a very smooth watercolor paper. And they're nice. I don't know if I'll ever turn these into paintings. Maybe I will. Maybe a few of them I'll turn into a painting at some point. But they're just really nice. A nice way of just letting loose and just getting the ideas out there for a more complicated piece of artwork. So you probably can hear a lot of wind sounds. It's because when I was recording this, it's been a really windy day. It's almost kind of like a wind typhoon type of weather today. And the bell sound that you probably hear is I've got this little wind chime that has just been going off today because of all the wind. So hopefully it's not too annoying. So with these postcard sketches, I'm mainly focusing on the line work and trying not to put too much detail into shading. Because the reason why is since I'm spending so much time on each one of these, I figured I might as well scan them in and turn them into a coloring book. So hopefully I can make a coloring book out of these like every few months. Since I'm doing 10 a month, I can get about, yeah, I should be able to definitely get a 20-page coloring book out every few months. I don't know if they'll all be printed. That's the most difficult part, is getting stuff printed. But I do have one that's coming out soon. It's going to the printers, and it's going to be printed here in Japan, so I don't think it'll be an issue getting it done quickly. It's just another thing, another time-consuming project to work on. So, but making it into a PDF and just putting it out there so people can download it is for me, it's the way to go, because you can download it, you can print it out on any kind of medium that you want, like watercolor paper, or you can just color them in digitally as well. So yeah, I kind of like that option of having it as a PDF. But I know that having a physical copy in your hands is also a novelty too. So I want to have that option on a few of these coloring books. Since it is so small, I'm not really enlarging them too much. They're going to be like pretty much pocket size. You can just throw it in a bag and go somewhere and sketch in a coffee shop, or just enjoy coloring it without having to spend hours laboring over a complicated drawing. And that's kind of the whole idea. It's making it so it's a very easy thing to color. There's no pressure. If you can't finish it, no big deal. But I wanted to make them very simple for coloring also. So you may be wondering why is this angle why is this filmed at such a strange angle? Well, I got really excited when I saw Instagram has this new IGTV, and so I wanted to make a video for that. And also I wanted to do something a little bit different by making this more like a real-time video. Really it's not real-time, but it's close enough. I think if I recorded, I did record this. It took an hour to draw this, so and I edited down the recording because I know really, the file size would just be gigantic if I put the whole thing onto YouTube or IGTV. So yeah, it's been condensed down to 15 minutes, but it did take 1 hour to complete this drawing. So yeah, the IGTV looked really cool. Instagram's new version of, I guess, YouTube. We'll see how that goes. I couldn't upload it through my phone though. I think the program is still kind of suffering from some bugs. I think it needs another update to make things a lot more smoother. And I just noticed with the way that the algorithm is working with Instagram, it's I don't know. It's still, even when I just uploaded it, it's still really, really slow for view counts. It's just like a trickle. So, like 1% compared to when I put a story up, which will get like a good amount of my viewers on there. So we'll see how it goes. I think it might take a little while before IG has a really substantial video audience out there. This was filmed vertically, and I just took it and flipped it over so you can actually see it here on YouTube also. And I wanted to try out this new microphone and talk to you guys a little bit. Sometimes people ask me about the flowers that I draw, and they want to know if they're actually based off of real flowers or if they're all made up. And I would say it's like half and half. I do some research, but really a lot of it's just like influenced by just going out and on walks and going to parks. I mean, here in Japan, especially like outside of Tokyo, where I live, there's just so many awesome parks out here, and there's always something new blooming. Even in the winter time, there's just something new blooming, and yeah, it's great to just observe and go out and kind of just enjoy just checking out nature. And I don't really sketch when I go out in the gardens and stuff. I just take a lot of photos with my iPhone and come back and just kind of use them as reference. But really, I've never really looked at the photos. I'll browse through them, but I don't really study them like as when I'm drawing. It's more of just observing, taking it in a little bit, and then making up my own kind of version of some of the flowers. I have, in some cases, like with the hydrangeas or, different like peonies and different types of flowers like that, I will try to make it look more accurate, but I like the idea of just making up the form. It just feels a lot more free, less contrived. Same with the insects, like the butterflies, and I just pretty much make those up completely. Sometimes I'll look at reference photos, but most of it is just pretty much made up. I love drawing little kind of creatures and cats and some type of embellishments to put in the hair, because I don't know, I really don't want I want them to be like detailed everywhere. I just have this tendency to really fill the page as much as possible with details. Okay, so now I'm going to switch pens from the brush pen into these pens by Roturine, which I really like. There's also another type of pen that I use a lot is by Copic. It's a multi-liner by Copic. And what else do I use? There's another one called Neo Pico, which is a really nice pen. It's by Deleter. And those are the main ones that I use. But I really love the Roturine pens. What's it called? Roturine Tiki Graphic. So it's a pigmented ink. It's like a waterproof ink. And they have like, I think it goes from 0, 1 up to like a 7. So there's a nice good range of sizes to work with. These don't refill, but the Copics that I have, you can actually refill the ink on them. Same thing with the brush pens. You can refill those too. They have cartridges for them. And there are some brush pens that you can use your own ink with. So I haven't really worked with those yet. But so you're probably wondering, why switch pens? The reason why is when I get into more of the details of the drawing, it's easier just to use one of these type of pens. Especially drawing circles, like really small circles. It's really difficult to do with the brush pen. I can do it. It just takes longer, and it's just nice to. It just feels nice using a pen at this point. You can also do, you can do a lot of shading and use cross hatching and really build up the drawing. But the idea is to keep the drawing simple, so it's easy to color. So that's why I don't really put too much shading. If I had my way and I had more time, I probably would shade this. I'd shade all of it. But it's nice to have, some restrictions and some boundaries to go by. Otherwise, I'd never get these done. So, making one per hour, it's usually, when I wake up, that's, the best time for me to draw. So some of the best ideas just come out like right when I wake up, and I I try to have a breakfast real quick and then go straight to the studio and just start sketching as quickly as possible. And after that point, then I can go about my day and just do my normal things, and then do my regular tasks in the studio as well. So this is all I have to say about this drawing, and